Hey, what's up guys? Jake here, and you're watching another episode of Dude Ranch DIY. This morning I'm in the truck towing the Sure-Trac dump trailer and the Cormidi C-1500 mini loader, and we are headed off to do some tree work. I got a job where we're taking down a bunch of trees. It's a bunch of removals. I got me and my 3 guys are coming with the chipper, the machine. Most of the, or actually all of the removals are going to be climbing. There's a few smaller trees that we can just drop from the ground. And we are going to use the Cormidi mini skid steer on the job for the first time. I got the grapple for it earlier this week. I just put it on the machine this morning for the first time. I'll give you guys a quick overview of the grapple when we get to the job. But I'm really looking forward to see how this mini loader, handles this big oak wood. One of the trees is a pretty big red oak. All the wood and the chips are staying on the job. So I wanted to test out the mini loader for the first time now that I have the grapple. Just see its capabilities, how it compares to the tractor, so on and so forth. So we're about 15 minutes away from the job. I will check back in when we get there. All right, guys, we're here and we're working. Joe's already climbing up. This is the big red oak tree. James has already started dragging out some of the brush here. We got the Cormidi mini loader with the new Erskine grapple on it. This is going to come in big handy today. And basically what's going on is that they're putting in a little garage like barn thing back here. So we got some stakes with some flagging tape on them, but the trees with the flagging tape are the ones coming down. We got some small ones here, slightly larger little white oak with a broken top out there, and then back here we have this white oak coming down. Big tall bean pole. So that's essentially the plan. We got the driveway open for the work, and we got the chipper over here. We're going to be fly chipping back into these woods here, and then I'll be moving all the wood with the mini loader back to the other side of the backyard over there. Alright guys, so as you can see in that first little clip there, the Cormidi mini loader with the grapple is just working amazing for this job. It's allowing us to pretty much pull out full-size pieces and drag them straight to the chipper, where then Chris can cut them up to feed them through the chipper.
but James wasn't getting bound up with brush on the ground. Joe was able to keep, taking apart the tree at his own pace without, really any issues on the ground at all. Now here, Chris is dropping one of the smaller trees. I think that's the white oak with the broken top. And we're just going to continue chipping away at this job and getting through it.
Alright guys, we're making great progress. Joe has brushed out the entire oak tree. All we got left is the wood. He's already started piecing down some big limbs that we've been moving into the back with the mini skid steer. So far, I'm liking this thing. It's nice and compact. It's pretty quick. Chris got to operate it for the first time. He's starting to work on dropping some more of these little trees. We already took down about 3, I think, over here. We've been shooting the chips right back into here. He's gonna drop this birch, then we'll get these other couple little ones out of the way. And I think the plan is try and get a rope in that white oak beam pole that I showed you guys before back there and try and send it this way. So here goes the birch. Making progress. There we have it, guys. A couple more pieces like that and she'll be totally down.
As you can see here, guys, I am picking up pieces that Joe cut down while he was still up in the tree, and I'm laying them out kind of like a little track. That way when we drop the big remaining standing stick, it'll fall onto those pieces and it'll do a little bit less damage to the lawn because it kind of disperses the weight.
All right, guys, so Joe just finished moving all the logs back here. It's his first time on the Cormidi. I think he likes it because he said he's not doing any work for the rest of the day beyond operating the machine. So he said it's user-friendly. We got the oak all cleaned up. We got most of the stuff raked up. Right now, we're working on this hickory right here. We got it tip-tied up at the top into this oak back here. Plan is we're gonna cut it from the bottom, and then we're gonna take this orange rope, once we get it fully hanging and all the weight up in this big red oak, we're going to, or Chris already has the orange rope tied on the bottom, and we're gonna pull the whole thing out this straight little alleyway out to the driveway with the machine, and then we'll suck it through the chipper. The only other thing that we have left, while Joe was moving the wood, Chris climbed up that white oak that was back there, blew the top out of it. We gotta yank the brush out of the weeds here, chip that up, and then we'll get that remaining stick down on the ground, and we'll chip up what we can and move the rest. And that'll pretty much be the day. There's a couple downed, rotten pieces of wood that are just scattered out here throughout the woods that we're also gonna yank out for him and chip those up. So that's the plan for right now. The Cormidi on its first day doing tree work with the Erskine Grapple, doing a great job. I think everybody's really happy that we got it and getting used to using it. All right, so what we're doing here is using this tool called a rope jack. James has this black thing in his left hand, which is called a porter wrap. It's a friction device. But then this rope jack essentially grabs the rope and pulls it down. You can see Chris is tending the slack here, and it tensions the rope up to get as much slack out of the rope as we can. That way, when we cut it from the base, it's just all the less rope that we have to deal with and less cuts we have to make to get it aerial and just hanging there. But this rope jack is pretty cool. It just pops on the rope there. You could take it off just like that. Here now we got the tree totally suspended in the air. The Cormidi is yanking it out. Chris is controlling the top rope, and obviously Joe on the machine pulling it out. There we have it. Straight out to the driveway.
Cormidi, don't stop.
I think the guys like it. It's pretty safe to say. So guys, we've been trying to figure out the best way to be able to load the branches and feed the chipper into the chipper. If any of you guys have a mini skid steer like this, the hardest part is that when you grab the brush and stuff, it's perpendicular to the machine. So getting the machine out of the way to be able to feed the brush into the chipper has been the tough part. All right, guys, so starting from the right to the left here, we got Joe, we got Chris, you guys know him from the Firewood, and we got James over here on the chipper. This was the first time that we had used the new Cormidi machine for you doing tree work. This is the first time that these guys have really seen it. What'd you guys think?
I thought it looked nice, it ran nice, it had a good presentation. It was very user-friendly. It was the first time I ever ran a mini skid steer, so thought I did pretty good on it.
Yeah, you were moving all the logs around.
Yeah, moving all the logs. It's easy to use. It makes a big difference. Helped us from having to kill ourselves with all that wood.
Yeah.
So
now, compared to the tractor, what did you think?
The tractor, I think, is a little bit quicker just because you've been on it for so long.
Right,
and this was
more
just a new piece of equipment,
it.
but I don't. This was nice. It had plenty of power. It's a smaller machine to get into tighter places. As long as you didn't try to turn it or skid it on the grass, it didn't tear the lawn up too bad.
Yeah, you just got to make like wide turns. But
so it was good.
Power-wise, it seemed pretty.
Power-wise, it had plenty. It had plenty of balls.
It can lift up as much as you want. I think
the only thing is those counterweights should be in the back,
farther back.
Yeah, they like the other mini skid steers. They have them right in the back of the machine. These are kind of mounted, I think,
like in the center.
Yeah,
almost.
I think it would be better if they were in the back, but you know.
Okay. Chris, you were on it.
Yeah, it was good.
You liked it?
Yeah, I did. It was a little small for me, so get a bigger one, make it bigger. But yeah, it was good. It was very useful in the tight area of the driveway, trying to drag the brush out and spin it around to load up the chipper. And but it definitely had plenty of balls. It pulled a 60-foot stick out of the woods.
Yeah, that was pretty
nice,
solid
white oak.
Yeah,
And,
I think as long as you don't need like the chipper on the back like we have on the tractor,
yep.
If you're just doing grapple work with the wood and stuff, it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
So
you need a rotating Ryan's grapple for the
rotating. I'll look into that. If anybody's watching from Ryan's Manufacturing, send me a grapple. Send me one of those grapples. James, you have any thoughts? You weren't on it, but
no, it's definitely a nice machine. Definitely had the power to pick up bigger pieces, but the tipping point was the limiting factor, as you mentioned before. But that 60-foot stick, I hopped on the back with Jake, and it was able to pick it up, no problem.
Yeah, with a little extra counterweight, it pulled it right out.
So, and it was definitely a nice, tight, compact machine. Light footprint, which would be huge. Getting in those tight spots, especially if you have underground utilities. You get that small footprint distributed, nicely with the tracks.
Yeah,
so,
definitely better than like the tires on the tractor where it ruts it up kind of.
As Joe had mentioned, it was pretty easy going on the turf as long as you weren't doing donuts with it and just did a multi-point turn, and we got the job done. Definitely better than a log dolly.
Yeah, for sure. So I will definitely have it on more jobs coming up. It is the season. It's pretty busy now. But that's going to wrap up this one, guys.
Some fence construction.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some fence construction or some barn demolition at your place, Joe.
Some river reclamation over at the Cheesecake Factory.
River reclamation. We got plenty of uses for this thing, guys. So stay tuned. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Questions?
Smash that button.
Smash the button. Questions, comments, or feedback, put it in the comment section below. I'm Jake. This is my crew. You just watched Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.